Hey guys, Gaslight here. For my long term viewers, I feel I owe you guys an apology. Certainly at least half of one. A long time ago, I want to say it was probably over a year ago, I posted a video. You're probably wargaming the Battle of Crecy wrong. Here's why. I pulled the video a few days ago, and I want to explain why that is. Um, I have I've since done more research than what was in the Michael Livingston and Kelly DeVries books. Uh, Most notably, Michael Livingston's Crecy, The Battle of Five Kings, and his collaboration with Kelly DeVries in their Battle of Crecy casebook. The casebook has some useful information, but unfortunately, it appears to be mostly full of bunk when it comes to the actual description of quote unquote the new location of the Battle of Crecy. Um, there are innumerable problems with their proposed location for the battlefield. Most notably, the fact that there's some creative translation decisions. Genevieve, Jardin de Genevieve, which is what's referred to or translated as the Garden of the Genoese by Livingston in the Battle of Crecy in Crecy, Battle of the Five Kings. I'm sorry, in reality, it's not. It doesn't mean Genoese at all. It refers to a flower, and when you take it into account that it appears in a 19th century map, it makes a lot more sense than the rather shaky and could refer to a local vineyard or orchard, um, rather than the rather shaky saying that the Jardin de Genevieve means the Garden of the Genoese, identified centuries later. More importantly, having gone to Google Maps, having had a look on Google Earth as to what another one of Livingston's arguments is from the book, that there's a massive drop off about midway through the traditional site of the Battle of Crecy. So this drop off is probably about 4 or 5 uh, feet that goes straight down, and he claims it runs all along the battlefield. I have since had a look on Google Maps. I have looked on Google Earth. It does not run all the way across the battlefield. He's been to the battlefield. He should know this. So I think it's only in one segment of the battlefield, so it doesn't. And even then, you wouldn't be able to see it from the where the French troops supposedly or the French troops stepped off during the battle. So his argument that the French troops would have to go all the way around this drop off is nonsense because they could just split up and go around. There, um, Livingston is right, however, that the Livingston however, correct in stating that Edward III had a Wagenburg, but I have serious doubts how effective that would have been uh, in conditions like Crecy. But then again, there are so many known unknowns. But Livingston's tendency to fill in the gaps with whatever he wants, which would include dodgy translations, is, I feel, somewhat intellectually dishonest. Not that I'm accusing him of being dishonest on purpose. I just think that he has perhaps bought into his own ideas a little bit too enthusiastically, because very few historians have actually accepted he and DeVries's findings at all. And I think while his resource selection is terrific, I don't think it's entirely. I honestly don't think he his. I'm not saying his research was sloppy. I'm saying what I am saying is his translations were a little bit wild, and as a result, the book itself suffers from some inaccuracies. And on top of that, because I drew from the research, I drew from his research to make my video. I just felt I owed you guys an apology, and so I'm sorry about spreading not entirely accurate, if not outright false information. I was overexcited, but that's no excuse for spreading ignorance without doing a further assessment. Thank you.